Hi, thanks for checking out our video. Just a little disclaimer, we had some audio problems on this video. It's not as clear as we'd like, but here's our review of Willy's Wonderland. We hope you enjoy. Yeah, you watched Willy's Wonderland right away, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I did not.
Yeah, me and my friend, it was like, I think it was like just turned 12, and I was like, oh my God, Willy's Wonderland.
It didn't get much marketing because it was a really small film, but it got a huge cult following before it actually came out, which I think is cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, yeah, pretty much any Nicolas Cage movie like this gets a cult following. But the thing is, though, it's not nearly as crazy as I thought it was going to be, though. You know?
And I think that's a budget thing, for sure.
Yeah. It's such a weird movie. It's a weird movie to describe because I wish it was just Nicolas Cage clean this place and animatronics try to kill him. But instead, the movie focuses on annoying teenagers who cannot act. I don't know if it was intentional or what.
The characters were very, very one-sided. Every single one was kind of a stereotype, and I think that was intentional. And everyone played it up that way, kind of, except the main girl was the main girl was like the only one that was like not a stereotype. It was just something about her that was really flat, and I think it was her acting. I think that's about it. It is just her acting. This actress, I don't know her name.
Yeah, I didn't even bother looking up any of those young actors' names. I know the one, the thing that pissed me off the most, and this is kind of a spoiler, but is the couple, the girl and the guy, when they go when they're trying to get Nicolas Cage out of here, and they just decide, hey, you know what? Let's have some sex. It's so dumb. But then again, I have to respect this movie because it is so stupid that I watched it again. And I watched it again. I watched it 3 times because Nicolas Cage is so fucking good in this. Like this is like one of my favorite performances of his.
And that's where I was like, it's gonna be kind of fun. And also like it's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
You have to take it as what it is.
I just love that he just does not really react to anything that's happening. And he's a man of his word too. He's like I don't care if these evil animatronics are trying to kill me. I'm getting my job done. I'm gonna do this until the end of the night.
I had this theory when I was by the end when the credits are going. I was like, Nicolas Cage is the devil. He's the devil. He has no name. He follows his deal that he makes right from the beginning to get his car fixed. He follows it to the T, and that's because he is a man of his word. He does the deal, and they talk about deals throughout the entire movie. There's deals with the devil, the satanic cult, the gross pedophiles, and the serial killers that work at Willy's Wonderland from their origin. That's all revolved around, and like it's like Nicolas Cage is like they have this very big emphasis on him playing pinball, and he's just ends up he breaks the high score and it resets, and it's like, well, that's because he's been doing like playing games. He's been around. He's the devil. He's good at everything he's gonna do because he's been around for so long. So it's like, yeah, he's gonna enjoy the little things because he has to, and he's gonna be good at it. But he's following the rules to the T because he's always been throughout that whole movie of Willy's Wonderland. He's the one making the deals that everyone has to follow and the guidelines, and he's following his own guidelines. That's why I was like, why would he stop mid-fight to like go off and have a beer? He just hands the main girl the knife. He's like, yeah, here's your fight. I'm gonna go have my break. I was told I had to make sure you have your break, sort of thing. And he does every single time.
That's actually a really good theory, and I think you're actually right because the last shot of the movie is flames, in his sunglasses. So that is actually a really good theory. What if he's the ghostwriter? What if Nicolas Cage is like, well, the studio won't let me do it, but I'll produce my own little thing. Did you know the only reason why he took the movie was because the character didn't speak, and he told the director and the writer, he was like, I'll do this movie, I'll even produce it and give you my money, but you cannot change a single word in the script.
He loved the the bizarreness of it too. He was like, I don't want anything to change. That's what I think
Yeah.
is the good thing about Nicolas Cage, and that's why
Hmm.
he's still he's considered, I think, a good artist still because he's doing things that are just different for him and for people.
Yeah. What did you think about the puppetry?
The the only thing I have to say I didn't like about this movie is it didn't have a big enough budget.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
it. The writer, his name is G.O. Parsons. This is his first movie that he wrote, and like a big that got produced. He's done short films and stuff. He even made a short film of Willy's Wonderland, which was the concept for it. He wrote this movie to be made for himself. Like he was writing the script for himself. That's why I think there's no dialogue or anything in it because he was like, I'm not an actor, so I'm just going to be silent and just focus on the filming
Right.
sort of thing. And that's how he was writing it. But he had a couple friends who ended up giving the script to Nicolas Cage on a Friday, and on Sunday he was like, "Yes, this is the
Yeah.
script I want to do."
That's awesome.
And it's like, I think it was just the directing and the budget were
Yeah.
off. Because I looked up the director too. He's done a lot of strange movies, none that were really recognizable. But G.O. Parsons, this is his first go at the industry. That I saw everything. Like I said before, and like I see things on paper when people are writing or acting and stuff. And I think a lot of good acting makes the paper go away, and a lot of bad acting shows the paper. And I'm like, okay. So that's what I saw in this one. I was like, I get what all the characters are saying. They're just not delivering them. Like, all the characters were funny and everything like that. But yeah, it was the directing. It was like not enough time, not enough coverage of everything. Just everything was rushed, one take sort of thing. Because it's a
Totally.
tiny movie, tiny, tiny
Yeah.
movie.
It felt like a student film, and they were lucky enough to get Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, that's what I wrote on this paper. I said it didn't seem like a parody or anything. Or campy. It just seemed like a doable film, like with
Totally.
resources that they had. And I was like, I like recognized that right from the get go, from the beginning. I'm like, oh, this is our inciting. Like it's supposed to be disorienting and freaky, but I get it now. But it's not as much as cinematic as I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But I got it because it's very B movie, and that's what they wanted, and that's what they're leaning toward. And I think that's because they're working with their resources.
Yeah, I wish that it didn't look so cheap. It felt like one of those things where you can tell that they were like, "Well, fuck it, it's a movie with Nicolas Cage, he's fighting animatronics. We don't care. Like, people aren't gonna care about the look of the movie." And in a way, they're right because that's really like all I really needed to watch it 3 times and rent it $20 willingly too, not even being like, "Oh man, should I do this?" I immediately, not even thinking, was like, I'm doing it. But the puppets were like, puppets are I love, 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 love puppets, and like the Muppets are one of my all time favorites. And yeah, and that was the worst part. Like there was this one ballerina who you could totally tell is just a girl. They have like just a head, and just have literally a girl that's doing this. And sometimes she just gave up. Like there's some scenes where she's like doing it, and then like you just tell the director was like, just run, just run like a human being. Okay.
It was really cheap looking, but they embraced it in a lot of ways, and I think it was really funny that way. Like instead of blood, they use like oil. So it's all black and like it's getting all over Nicolas Cage.
I love that when he changed his shirt. Really, really great in this. Besides his shoe polish, hair and beard.
That was yeah. I don't know if yeah. I think that's him, isn't it? That's
Oh
just
yeah.
him. That's just
Oh
him
yeah.
coming from home to work. I'm here. Hair and makeup? No thanks.
That's totally another thing. It seemed like everyone just like brought their own stuff. Like it didn't seem like they had like a costumer or makeup designer
Hmm.
or anything. Like, and the thing that sucks about it is that the marketing of this was so good. It seemed like it was going to be much more extravagant
Yeah,
and playful, but it just really was just kind of bland. And
it's very
and the only
grindhousey.
scenes are the Nicolas Cage scenes that really uplift, especially when he's playing pinball. And
Yeah,
oh god, that was amazing. I heard that a lot of Nicolas Cage fans are not happy with this movie because he doesn't have those freakouts. But I was okay with it.
he had the opposite of a freak out. He made love to a pinball machine.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. Overall, I wish that it was just they thought about it more instead of just doing like literally the bare minimum. This should have
Hmm.
been called Willie's bare minimum.
Yeah, but think about it. Probably was very hard to make.
It was probably hard to make, and it looks like it was probably a hell of a lot of fun. Like, I said to my friend, I was like, "This is the movie, like, if I were to write for Nicolas Cage, this is exactly what I would write." Like,
Yeah.
no doubt at all. But it's just like you said, if there was a better director and they actually took care of, like, the animatronics too, because
Mhm.
especially at the end, Willie it is just like it was like such a lame fight, and like
It was cut like a Liam Neeson fight.
yeah, every action scene was like it was kind of like Taken 3. No, I hated the way that it was shot around, but overall, I mean, like I know we're kind of shitting on it a bit, but it was a great time.
We could easily break down everything that's like technically is just uncomfortable about it, but I think that I like what's on paper about it. That's why I'm very excited about G.O. Parsons, the writer.
Totally,
His first
totally,
movie.
yeah,
That's a good first movie as a writing. Kind of. There's something I
yeah.
didn't like about the format though.
Oh, totally. Like I feel like it's because they were like kind of backed up into the wall, the writer and director, because Nicolas Cage was like, "Don't change a single word of the script," and I'm sure that the writer was like, there's so many things I want to change, but okay. So how many popcorns would you give this movie?
Um, I would give it like 3.5 probably, just because it's a
Okay.
movie that you can really watch on with friends on some movie night and just make a game out of something like something.
Oh, totally.
And it's definitely good. Yeah, it's fun to watch. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah.
You don't want to break it down too much because you ultimately you're like, but I did like it. Like I still kind of like it.
Yeah,
That's what
no,
I
I'm
would say.
I'm I'm with you. I would give it a three,
Mhm.
3 out of 5 popcorns. I don't know why I'm saying popcorns, but I like it. What's up, Duco?
What about the on the Cage meter of Rage Cage? What would you give it?
Oh man, I would give it probably a solid 80% because to me, there's so much about his performance and what he does that is seriously like quintessential Nicolas Cage. I didn't need the weird dialogue that he usually delivers. Like him, it reminded me of Mandy. Like Mandy's a much better movie,
Hmm.
but his performance reminded me of that because he doesn't really say or do much in Mandy until the end. Once like he starts drinking. Like sometimes just the way that he looks at something just made me laugh so fucking hard, and especially that scene when he's the little girl and him are the main girl and him are about to fight something, and his watch beeps, and he's like, he just grabs a knife, gives it to her. He's like, "Going on my break." So good. Like that. That was like, oh my god, Nicolas Cage, you're just amazing.